Welcome to the channel. Today I got the ultimate recruiting masterpiece for you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all still doubting the recruiting skills over here, like we don't really do this on this channel. But we do. So I'm gonna go pick Kennesaw State. Now I'm not gonna call them the worst team on the game. I ain't gonna try to disrespect the players like that. But I will say they are the team with the lowest overall in the game. And this time I'm gonna choose a created coach. When you choose a created coach, you start off at level 1, which means I don't have that many recruiting hours. So this gonna be some of my best work because I want to get a 5-star to come down to Kennesaw State and be the actual cornerstone of the program. Now there's no doubt in my mind I could take a team, a 1-star team, maybe a 2-star team, uh, and through simming and recruiting only, possibly take them to the championship. I'm pretty sure that if I spend some time really grinding and recruiting and developing players without actually playing the game, I could probably send my way to a championship with the skills I got recruited, for sure. Now, there is a bit of luck or randomness, as I like to call it, because you do need to select some players that are in the state that you're from, because that's going to give you the best chance. Kennesaw State is in Georgia, so I need to select all the 5-star Georgia players. That's going to give me the best chance, and I got to look at their deal breakers. If they got playing time and proximity to home, then we are in good shape, because all of these prospects are from Georgia, starting with Josh Heeeeeee. Now, when you are a lower tier program, the number one thing you need to do with all of your prospects off rip, especially the 5-stars, is go ahead and offer them a scholarship. You need to get started as fast as possible. You do not need to waste any time when it comes to recruiting because that's how those other teams come up and sneak you off from behind and take your players. When you have these teams and go up against Georgia and Georgia Tech, because remind you, Kennesaw State is in Georgia, so you're competing with the other Georgia teams as well. So you need to get a head start on the scouting way before they even come into the picture, and that will give you the best chance. Now, Greg Leon was not interested in us, but if you see his top 5, Georgia was number 1, Georgia Tech is number 5. So that's our biggest competition with these players. So we definitely need to get a head up on these guys. Now, look, Georgia, number 1 on Josh Heeeeeee. We need to get Josh Heeeeeee. He a wide receiver. He need to come hoop at Kennesaw, come change the program around, bro. Listen, Josh, we need you out there. You gonna start. You gonna get the playing time. So we gonna send the house to him off rip. You know, cause we need as much information as fast as possible. And Dwayne Fleck, we gonna send the house to him off rip so we can get as much information as fast as possible. And we gonna go to the next week, hopefully increasing our interest in these players, which it will do. Which it will do. As you can see there, Dwayne Fleck, we're 5th on his list. We moved up in the world, but we still got a lot of work to do. So let's go back to the recruiting tab. Let's see the interest with Josh Heeeeeee. And then y'all, of course, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. As you can see, number 1 interest for Josh right now. Josh is rocking with us. It looked like he wanted to come ball, but we got to apply the pressure. He's not ready for a soft sell yet. He's not ready for a hard sell. Neither one of these players are. So we can go ahead and advance the week. Go ahead and move on to the next week. Now, if you pay attention throughout the year, your skill points will rise. Now, that's one thing you want to keep in mind because we will be using those skill points. Now, we're still number 1 on Josh Heeeeeee list, so that's good right there. So we have a very good chance of getting them. Now look at that defensive player, Conference USA from Kennesaw State. We're making a little bit of a name for ourselves. Now looking at the list, we're number 1 on Josh's, number 3 on Dwayne. I know some of y'all looking at me like, why are you not using the rest of your hours to scout those players? I have no problem getting 2-star players. I have no problem getting 3-star players, and then you can still find some 4-star players in the middle of the season as well. They have open interest. If they have open interest and you offer them a scholarship, you'll jump very high up into their list. And I'll even show y'all at the end of the video me getting a couple of 4-star players trying this when I was trying to get a 5-star as well, just so y'all can see that it's very easy and it's very possible to get the 4-star. But the 5-stars are the most difficult players to get because you have to be very, very strategic. Now look at me. Number 1, I got a nice little lead with Josh Heeeeeee. Number 1, but the soft sell and the hard sell pitches are still locked out. So as they narrow their teams down, we got to still keep applying that pressure, keep advancing the week. Kennesaw State has not won a game yet. They not helping me out while I'm simming. Like, come on, Kennesaw, help me out. Help me out. Now, Josh Heeeeeee, we still number 1 because we still applying that pressure. We send the house, so we trying to get all the information we could possibly get. We are 0-3. We are 0-3, so it's up to me to turn this program around. As you can see there, he narrowed it down to his top 5. We're still number 1. Now we could do a hard sell. Now, I only know 2 out of the 3, but this is when you have to be strategic. Since I only have an A+ in playing time and proximity to home, we're going to choose those 2 and hopefully go with the one that has playing style, even though it has a bad grade. This is why it's important to sit in the house and get to know as much about the player as possible, because we don't have very good motivating factors outside of proximity to home and playing time. Two things we get A+ in and that we can offer him. Now Dwayne is a bit different. He's still having a tough time narrowing the teams down, so we have to wait before we can sit in that hard pitch to him, because when you got those 5 stars, you do need to be sitting that hard pitch. You can follow it up with a soft pitch or combine the two, which I'll show you how to do that when you don't have as many skill points yet. But we still number one in Dwayne because we getting to know him as a player. And it's a gamble. It's a gamble when you come and gamble with these 5 star players and you try to get to know when you sit in these pitches sometimes, because sometimes you just flat out have to take a risk, and sometimes it's gonna pay off. While at other times it may actually end up backfiring. But as you can see, Josh, he was happy with the pitch that we throw to him. It's working well for us. Time to get the work pitch going crazy. We're gonna even add a little DM to player just to make sure we use all the maximum hours on them, since we have some to spare. Now keep in mind, I only have 350 recruiting hours, so it's not really possible for me to have like just the greatest recruiting class, even if I was trying to get a lot more players, because I don't have that many hours to be efficient. So the more hours you have, the more players you can get. It's just that simple. But you can still get quality players and build up a quality program. Now Dwayne Fleck, I only know one right now, but I know that playing time is an A+ and proximity to home is A+. But he doesn't care about proximity to home, so that's a killer right there. So I as a gamble, I need to go with something that has playing time A+, because we don't know yet, but we also want to be early because we are number one, but it could backfire. But it doesn't even matter if it backfires, because if it's not playing time, all my other grades at this point are subpar. They're C or lower. So even if we do get them right, they might not gain enough interest, but it will backfire. It can backfire against you early on very quickly. That is the one thing about the hard pitch. If you don't get it right or they don't have enough interest, it can backfire against you. But it's better to get started early and maybe guess it right and get out in front of everybody than just wait and they're not interested and other teams pass you up. Now, as you can see there, I dropped on Dwayne's list. I'm number 3. That's just what comes with the territory sometimes. But Josh, we number 1. We still got a comfortable lead. We're going to go ahead and schedule that visit against Sam Houston. We definitely gonna schedule a visit when we have an A+ category in proximity to home. He's in Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's very close to where Kennesaw State is. Not gonna say very, very close, but it's close enough. It's in Georgia. You feel me? So we're gonna use that pitch on the visit. And another thing I like to do is have a lot of players visit at the same week so they can be there with each other. That's one thing that I do find helpful. Now you do need to win. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna sim and just hope they win. But Dwayne, we're going to try to sway him and try to hopefully get some luck, because honestly, we don't have enough categories A+ that he's interested in. We don't have brand exposure. The third one we don't even know yet. So we just have to go with playing time, because he's not interested in playing close to home. He doesn't care about that. Everything else we have D's and C's in. So it's just not looking like a good fit, really. And in all honesty, I would have recommended that you moved on last week, to be honest. If this was y'all playing style, but like these are the type of players you don't need to worry about when you're at small schools, because you're just wasting your time, to be honest. But we're just gonna try to see if we can get something. If it works, maybe we can try to sneak him out. Maybe if you bump up in interest. But we still got Josh, so we good. We're hit right there with them. We got one 5-star player that has some good strong interest in this program that is 0-5. 0-5. I'm about to do almost the impossible, bro. This is almost unheard of, and we're not worrying about Georgia and Georgia Tech in the top 3. So we looking pretty good. It's looking like our player to lose right here. This would be a high rate robbery, even though I'm the thrill thief, still in the 5-star from the top teams. But you know what they say. You know what they say with Coach Den. If you want to win, commit to Coach Den. Now, this is the part here where you need to take advantage of your skill points. Now, we know that Josh Heeeeeee is a wide receiver. So we're going to go ahead and use all our points on wide receiver, because at tier 3, you increase your weekly recruiting hours. And at tier 4, you increase starting interest from wide receivers and tight ends. This could give us, and at tier 2, you get a little bonus. So we're going to make sure we lock them in, because, as a coach, you got to be able to use your abilities right, too, when you have a lower tier coach. I was a level 1 starting up. I started off from scratch. So we're going to go ahead and remove DM, and we're going to also think about going with a soft sell. Now, I'm not going to commit to the soft sell right now, simply because I'm in the lead. I already have a very strong hard pitch, and I don't want to make it hurt against me in any type of way. I don't need to move a muscle. But if for any reason I see him after this week and he has not committed to me, we are definitely going to add the soft pitch in there as well, just in case, just to keep them off of our backs, those other teams off our backs, and make sure we get our player. But I go ahead and I advance to another week. And this really the moment of truth for us to see if we gonna get one. And boom, Josh Heaney said he gonna come play with Coach Den because Josh Heaney wants to win. Josh him. You the face of the program, bro. I'm glad to have you be that player. It's like I'm Deion Sanders when he got Travis Hunter to come. And this is just to show y'all that it's possible. It can be done. I've done it. And if y'all really want to see me put an elite class together, just drop a like on the video, comment down below, and I got y'all boys. Until next time, Densky out.